Hola! It's me, Cara Carouse, Intuitive Life Coach. I'm coming to you today with the topic of attachment styles, and in particular, avoidant attachment styles. So I work with empaths who are interested in improving their relationships so that they can manifest and co-create a life beyond their wildest dreams. And while this soul is here in this physical body, we get to figure out the human stuff. You know, this soul is here for growth and expansion and evolution and ascension to higher levels of consciousness and awareness. And while we're here, we get to figure out this human dynamic stuff. And attachment styles are enormous. So when we look at avoidant styles, the characteristics of an avoidantly attached person are that they really are ambivalent about the relationship. Like, they really value their independence and they want to be in a relationship, but then once they're in the relationship, they're kind of like, not really sure about this. Sometimes they tend to devalue their significant other. Sometimes they use criticism a lot. Sometimes they're unpredictable. They tend to isolate themselves. They think they're doing it out of protection for themselves, but really it's an extremely destructive style, destructive dynamic to establish within the relationship. So there are 4 different attachment styles. Just to give you an overview, there are the insecure attachment styles of anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Avoidant does get broken down into a couple, but I'll talk about them later. And then there's secure. So ultimately what we're going for is a secure attachment, secure connections within a relationship. However, when we have, so these attachment styles they come out of our childhood. They're rooted in how we've interacted with our earliest caregivers to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be validated, and then they get carried into our adult relationships. So I have a background in psychology. I have a degree from 2003, and then I was a birth professional for many years, and I still assist the home birth midwives with births as in my RN capacity. I'm also a registered nurse. However, I do really, really love psychology still. And, you know, I understand, I appreciate the spiritual aspect of this and understand we're here to grow. And while we're here, we get to figure this stuff out. So this avoidant attachment style, they will typically, push their loved one away. And I'm speaking in terms of like intimate relationships usually. Although these relationship dynamics can come up anytime. And the reason why they come up is because we're feeling unsafe. And there's a level of instability. There's a stable instability that's found within the dynamics that an avoidantly attached person will have with others. So there are a lot of overlapping themes here. When I started looking at this, I was in a relationship where I was with someone who was avoidantly attached. Really, it was a little more than that, but for the sake of this video, it was this person, my partner, was avoidantly attached. I was not, and it really created a toxic dynamic between us. It was a very unhealthy relationship towards the end when I really started to look back on it and put these pieces together. So the other aspects of this are the core wounding that's associated with someone who is avoidantly attached are that they're extremely fearful of neglect. They're fearful of rejection, although they will push people away. They really do want that. And they have major trust issues. And a lot of times there's this false sense of self too, like a superficial facade that maybe they're bigger or more grand than they truly, truly are. A lot of insecurities, a lot of like deeper stuff going on below the surface. And then the boundaries that these people, that the avoidantly attached person will typically have are rigid. So there are 3 different boundary types. There are porous boundaries where we are oversharing information with others. We want to be connected with others, but not so much protected. There are rigid boundaries where we really keep people at an arm's length. So these people, that's avoidantly attached people, don't let people in too close. They don't have very many good friends. They will often have one-night stands or be able to detach very easily from one relationship and move on to the next. And the goal, what they're going for there is to be protected and not so much connected. And then the last boundary style is healthy. So like what we're going for in relationships are secure and healthy. So secure attachments and then healthy boundaries. So And then this last overlapping theme that I put together for myself and my own understanding of what the hell was going on in my life and in my relationship is that in the nervous system, according to the polyvagal theory, there's the autonomic nervous system ladder. We want fluidity, we want flexibility in the nervous system, and these people who default when threatened in relationships to an avoidantly attached style go to the dorsal vagal state, which is at the bottom of the ladder. I have other videos explaining the polyvagal theory. I have a video on my website, or I have a course on my website that explains this in great detail, but they go to the dorsal vagal activation where it's immobilization. It's freeze, it's shut down, it's numbing out, it's disassociated, so they're really stressed out in their relationships, their partner's getting too close to them, they push them away, push, pull, they push their partner away, they're really afraid of rejection, neglect, have major trust issues, they have the rigid boundaries, and they will go to immobilization, complete shutdown, and just not want to deal with any of it. So, some ways that we can work to get ourselves up out of this state, if you find that you are avoidantly attached, are to gradually, to gently push back against that discomfort, to gently start to share more of how you're feeling with someone that you trust. So fundamentally, feeling safe in the relationship. So making sure that you feel very safe in your relationship. Otherwise, none of this is going to matter. So safe within yourself first. You trust yourself, you love yourself, you respect yourself first and foremost. And then from there, establishing relationships that are safe around you so that you can start to unpack some of this, so that you can start to push back against that feeling of wanting to shut down and isolate and not be close to anyone. And so you gently start sharing your feelings with those that you trust. If you do have this tendency to shut down and maybe take a nap or turn your phone off or stop responding to texts or messages or anything like that, then get yourself moving. So immobilization, you just want to sit in one place. You don't want to do a damn thing. But to get yourself up and out of that state, you got to move through the sympathetic activation, which is more anxious and it is more like fight or flight. And so yes, it's natural, it's appropriate to move up through those states as you get back to a safe ventral vagal state. But when you are in that dorsal activation, start to move. So every day I come and I walk my dog and I get my body moving. It is of the utmost importance to move your body every single day. And I don't typically go to the dorsal vagal state, but if I did, what is so important is just to be able to get up and moving around. So you start to co-regulate with someone else if you do find that you immobilize or that you shut down or that you numb out or that you dissociate. You call someone up that you love, that you trust. The key again is trust and safety. And so you call someone up, you start to talk through what you're feeling like, or you even just say, I'm really not feeling that great today, and at least just a slight expression of how you're feeling to just gently start to push those, to push those boundaries with yourself back, okay? If you find yourself in dynamic with this person, become aware of what your needs are and be able to express them. And again, the key is safety. All of this is about safety and trust and being able to get out of an insecure attachment style and move towards a secure style. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, share, do whatever you feel inclined or pulled or called to do just to help get the word out. My goal is to keep the conversation going. So I invite you to join me on my text line. Text LOVE, LOVE 143 to 585-449-9913. And I send out just like a couple texts a week reminding you of different things that are around love and empowerment, because that's really what this is all about. So yes, we're here to grow. We're here, this soul, to grow, evolve, expand, ascend to higher levels of awareness and consciousness. And we're here to learn about unconditional love. And that starts with ourselves. So I'll send out tips for you to be able to think about and resonate and grow, okay? Also, feel free to join me in my private Facebook group, Intuitive Self-Healers. The link is in the comments. Love you guys. I hope you're having a great day. Move your body and talk to you soon.